everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Friday and TGIF. Hope your weeks are wrapping up very nicely indeed. Today we're taking a look at a personal account of how Bitcoin changed one individual's life. A lot of other analysts are talking about a once per cycle move. As far as the analytics go, that suggests a major move to the upside could be possible from a couple of different perspectives. We'll let you know about that. Bitcoin chart reveals 61% of supply remains unmoved. That's on altcoinbuzz.io. And then some commentary on alt season and Ethereum as well, and some reasons as to why it may be poised for some very explosive growth moving forward. Let's first take a look at the market, guys. And by the way, if you like this kind of stuff, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain, be sure to like and subscribe below. Here we are on CoinGecko.com. We're down a little bit today, coming off the recent highs, down 2.8% overall in the market today. That brings us to $272.9 billion. As you can see, projects are down a couple of percentage points, several percentage points in the case of many altcoins, unfortunately, that really saw a quick and sudden swell these last few days because price performance, let's be honest, has been really good. So this is coming off some of those recent highs, but sometimes, as you see here with XRP, as you see with Cardano, Bitcoin, SV, you see decreases to the tune of 5, 6, 7% or more, unfortunately. Bitcoin down 2.3% in the last 24 hours right now. That brings it to $9,184 with a dominance of 61.9%. Here we are on News BTC, where they say a once a cycle Bitcoin bull signal just appeared for the first time since 2016. It's been that long, so 4 years. After a strong rally in March, April, and May, the cryptocurrency, talking about Bitcoin, sustained a heavy rejection at 10,500 at the start of June, just over a month ago. And you guys remember that Bitcoin's inability to cross that barrier, 10,500, has been seen as a strong blow to the bull case, especially since the level has macro importance. However, a once per cycle Bitcoin signal is about to appear. That's according to one trader. He shared the chart below, which is a signal that only appears once every cycle, purportedly. Everything is open to interpretation, guys, and these kinds of interpretations are subjective, so just take everything with a grain of salt, remember that. However, as per the trader, it last began to trend higher, for instance, in 2016, before Bitcoin rallied over 2,000% from under $1,000 to about $20,000 at the all-time high. So with reference to this chart, the bullish reversal in the direction of the 27-day moving average isn't the only reason why the analyst is bullish. Further referencing the chart, he identified two other technical analysis factors supporting the bullish view. Number one, Bitcoin has tested a key diagonal trend line after breaking above it, confirming it as support. And the diagonal is important because it was formed at the $14,000 mark in 2019. And number two, the 3-week moving average convergence, the MACD, has crossed bullish for the first time since maybe April or May of last year, so 2019. The time this signal was seen before that was 2015, before the rally from the 300 region all the way to $20,000. Here on CryptoBriefing.com, Bitcoin awaits major breakout as price pressure builds, and they point out, I think very aptly here, that there are a couple of zones that we really have to keep an eye out for. So the most important support and resistance levels to pay attention to sit at number one, support $8,900 and resistance $9,500. We've had trouble breaking out of that this last week, even despite some of the great performance that we've seen. But as you've been able to see, it's mostly been siphoned into the altcoins. It's been a very high performance week for altcoins. That's definitely where the emphasis has been. And here's a bit of a different story, guys. We're not going to go through this in its entirety, but on finance.yahoo.com, I'm a Syrian refugee, and this is how Bitcoin changed my life. So this is the story of one individual, Tay Erljula, who's a tech entrepreneur, and he talks about his ordeal, what he had to go through in his native Syria, the use of Bitcoin and the communities that, for the love of cryptocurrency and blockchain and technology, the communities through that he was introduced to through means of Bitcoin, so to speak, and the way that he used Bitcoin personally to be able to send money to his family to and from the Netherlands. It's a very inspirational story, not exactly the most, I think, newsworthy in a sense, but that's not to take away from it. I think it's a great anecdotal story. So if you'd like to read more about this man's journey, what he's been through, and how Bitcoin really has been a saving grace for him, we'll link to this in the description below. On altcoinbuzz.io, Bitcoin chart reveals 61% of supply remains unmoved. This article by Deepika. This is an indicator that investors are are gaining confidence in the asset and the holding behavior is on the rise. Are these Bitcoin charts indicating a long-term bullish behavior? So to break down the metrics a little bit, almost 61% of the Bitcoin supply hasn't moved in over a year, marking an all-time high. And according to a report shared by Glassnode, close to 11 million Bitcoin have not changed hands at all in the past year. This represents a significant portion of the current Bitcoin supply, which is 18.42 million at the time of press. Dan Held here noting on Twitter that 61% of Bitcoin hasn't moved in over a year. That does represent an all-time high. So as DEBIT writes, it should be noted that this holding trend has been going on for the last couple of years. As can be seen in the Glassnode Bitcoin chart above, almost 45% of the Bitcoin supply has remained dormant in the last 2 years. Such a large percentage of active Bitcoin supply remaining unmoved possibly means investors are expecting a bullish trend. And following the third Bitcoin halving, which happened in May of this year, just a couple of months ago, a significant price rise is expected, and this could be leading to the hodling and accumulation phase. It's also worthy to note that Bitcoin balances on exchanges have been dropping pretty significantly since the beginning of the year, and furthermore, Bitcoin owners are now taking custody of their Bitcoin rather than keeping it on exchanges and ready for trading. This is also an indicator that the Bitcoin owners have no intention of selling their Bitcoin anytime soon. At Glassnode Alerts points this out, Bitcoin balance on exchanges just reached a one-year low of 2,310,466 Bitcoin. Previous one-year low of 2,313,000 was observed on the 3rd of June 2020. You guys can check out their research. They do some very interesting metrics as far as tracking and whatnot. This is not one that I follow in particular, but it's a good one in the back of your mind to be, I think, reminded of. All-time low in terms of Bitcoin being stored on exchanges. I think that says something. Okay, so in conclusion here, Bitcoin price witnessed noticeable price swings in this last year. We've all been witness to that. The price fell from $11,975 to just over $5,000, and then it climbed all the way back to $9,200 or so. Thus, even when 60% of the active Bitcoin supply was dormant, the Bitcoin price made great swings. The increase in coins not moved is not the best statistic for determining price action, as people move their coins for a variety of reasons, not all of which are related to selling. So what do you guys think of this? Let us know your perspective in the comments below. I think the optimistic interpretation is that people have strong hands. People don't want to part with their Bitcoin. They want to invest. They want to hold for the long term. Maybe the pessimistic interpretation is that people have forgotten about their Bitcoins. They've forgotten about their private keys. They can't be bothered, or maybe they're just no longer interested or enthusiastic about the space. I think that latter explanation is less likely. So I'm going to stick to the side of optimism, and I think people are hodling for a reason. Let us know your thoughts about that in the comments below, guys. And right now, sponsorship helps cover production, research, and website costs. So we'll have a quick word about today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by our sponsor AAX, the world's first cryptocurrency exchange to be powered by the very same engine that powers the London Stock Exchange. In this tutorial, I will show you how quickly your profit and loss can fluctuate based on the amount of leverage that you take. Right now, you can see that I have 10 long contracts. Now, what happens if I am more confident about this position is that I can decide to change the leverage. Let's say I change it from 2x to 100x. Before I do that, have a look at the liquidation price. You see this red line here? $6,297 is the price at which, if Bitcoin comes down to this level, my full $10 worth of Bitcoin, which I entered this contract with, will be liquidated. I will lose that completely. Let's say I'm very confident that Bitcoin is going to go up and I want to have more exposure. Look what happens if I move this 2x to 100x. Right now, you can see that the P&L is currently minus 7.1% and the liquidation price is 6,293. Now, if I move this to 100, look at that. My liquidation price goes up significantly to 9,354. What this means is that I'm taking a lot more risk in this trade, because if we get down to 9,354, I will lose the full amount of money which I used to enter this trade. And now, back to Matty.
And here on News BTC, we're talking Ethereum. This prominent Bitcoin advocate just went long on Ethereum, and here is why specifically. So Ethereum has been expressing some notable strength against Bitcoin over the last couple of days, and this comes as it was able to rally past significant resistance levels that was previously forcing it lower. Analysts are now noting that the cryptocurrency Ethereum could be poised to see further upside, with one veteran trader offering a target that's nearly 30% higher than where it is currently trading. The strength it's expressed over the last couple of days has even been enough to cause one Bitcoin maximalist and prominent Ethereum critic to go long on the cryptocurrency. Right now, ETH BTC is trading at a current price of about 0.026 Bitcoin, but that's up from 0.024 Bitcoin that we saw just over a week ago. So following this latest price surge, Peter Brandt, a prominent trader with decades of experience, explained that he now believes ETH BTC could rally as high as 0.03276 BTC in the near-term future, and this would mark a nearly 30% surge from its current price levels. He also notes that most altcoins should post higher gains against Bitcoin in the days and weeks ahead. Here's specifically what he said on Twitter, quote, "Significant breakout in ETH BTC with target of 0.03276 Bitcoin. Most alts should gain on Bitcoin in near future as well." It's probably worth noting that Tour de Meester has also adopted this opinion and is going long on ETH BTC. He said, quote, "I agree with Peter Brandt. ETH BTC technicals are looking bullish, so I'm long. I still think Ethereum has extremely problematic fundamentals. However, nevertheless, the short term to him looks very optimistic." A bunch of different individuals are giving their opinions about Ethereum, not only Ethereum, but altcoins as well in general here on zcrypto.com. Altcoin season is on the open following Ethereum's bullish breakout, says veteran trader, is on the horizon. As you can see here, we have not only Peter Brandt's opinion, but the opinions of some other traders as well, including Tour de Meester and others. So let us know your thoughts about it, guys. I think just anecdotally, we've all been seeing an increased surge in the price of altcoins this last week, especially with some of our favorite projects. Fortunately, I'm able to report the fact that they've been doing very well in terms of price performance. Is Ethereum and other altcoin projects, are they going to continue to rise versus Bitcoin? I guess time will tell, but I think what's interesting here is that based not only on the momentum that we've been seeing, but on the fundamentals as well, we've been able to convert some real diehard Bitcoin maximalists that weren't at all concerned with Ethereum or with altcoins. So for them to come out with these kinds of statements, I think means something. So we'll link to this in the description below. That about wraps it up for today, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell, of course, to receive notifications if you've enjoyed today's video. Best of luck, guys, if you choose to invest on this Friday. TGIF, everybody. Have a great tail end to your week, a great start to your weekend. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.